Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of From the Heart. I'm your host, Chloe Trca, and today is just going to be a solo episode, but it's going to be a good one. This was actually one of my listeners' requests. They messaged me through the fan mail thing on Buzzsprout, so if you go to the podcast page, you can message me there. Otherwise, you can shoot me a DM, comment, whatever. But I am so excited about this because it's really ironic. This is something that's been like heavy on my heart recently, and someone brought it up to me and asked me to speak on it. I'm actually going to read the message. I'll always leave these anonymous as well. I'll never like openly explain who you are. Like this stuff is between the two of us for sure. Always will be. But I'm going to read the whole message that they sent because it just kind of gives depth into the topic, and I'm going to kind of expand on this topic as well. But they said, hey, I've been struggling with my fitness journey for a while now, and I've spent the last few months learning to love my body, working out because it makes me feel good, not because I hate the way I look. I use your workout app. I love it. Hey, thank you. So happy you're on it. And I'm just going to say this now because I was going to announce it anyways. I do have a new hybrid program available on my app. The first week is free. Otherwise, I have a gym program. So the gym program is 5 lifts a week. And then my hybrid is 6 workouts a week with 3 runs. And then running can be supplemented for any cross training, like cardio that you prefer. So like biking, elliptical, whatever. Anyway, you can sign up for free. Link in my bio. I'll link it below in the show notes as well. But back to the message. One of the things that I struggle with the most is comparing myself to other girls at the gym or on social media. Just in my daily life, I tear myself apart when I see girls who I think are prettier than me, have a nicer body than I do. It's the worst feeling ever. No matter how hard I try to stop myself from doing this, it seems to be my immediate response that my brain has when I look at other girls. I was wondering if you could do an episode or touch on the topic of comparison and how to stop constantly comparing yourself to others. I love your podcast so much. First off, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support to every single one of you who listen every single week, share the podcast with a friend, whatever. Like that means the world to me because this is truly my baby. My podcast is my baby. It's the way I feel like I can really just reach a lot of you guys and just spread my knowledge, my experience, like God's love, everything. And I'm excited to get into this because, like I said, I was going to expand on the topic of comparison. I also want to kind of talk about the topics that I feel kind of go hand in hand with comparison, and that is jealousy and like just insecurities in general, because that's the kind of what was stemming on my heart as well. I feel like I'm a fairly confident person, and I don't think necessarily just because you're confident doesn't mean you don't get jealous or you don't compare yourself. I think sometimes the most confident people are the hardest critics as well. Like we can come off confident, but we can be very hard on ourselves at the same time. And that can be a very tricky, hard spot to be in. And honestly, this topic is going to be very, very relatable with anyone. Like I feel like this can impact, and this is gonna touch home to anyone from any age to any gender. Like girls and guys are going to experience this. I think maybe in different areas more particularly, but then again, not. I feel like the most common for me as a 22-year-old, going to be 23, female girl, a lot of it is based on appearance. I feel like that's where I find myself comparing men. A lot of times it's like status or success, like money driven, but also physiques. I think sometimes we compare ourselves based on even our personality, like, oh, she's more outgoing than I am. She's more bubbly. But we can also compare ourselves on skills, being like, man, he's just so much better at baseball than I am, or he's just so much better in the office, or he's so much better in a business meeting leading a conference, or she's so much better at editing and posting, and she's so much better at being creative, like every single aspect of our life, we can honestly compare ourselves to somebody else. And one thing that I grew up, my parents always saying is, someone's always going to have it better. Like someone's always going to be better at it. Someone's always going to have the nicer product, the nicer thing. Like there's always going to be someone that you're constantly could be comparing yourself to, or you could be judging. And I think that in every negative, you can turn to a positive. I think God can make all things good. And so I think it's really a matter of training our minds to appreciate things rather than become jealous. And this is very interesting because I think a lot of times when we become jealous of someone, say, I think that they have a better sense of fashion than I do, okay? Like that's something that my style, like I love, but I really don't pour into because I like being cozy. I mean, I'm literally wearing a Skims bodysuit and some Aritzia TNA sweatpants. Are these nice pieces? Are they cute? Yeah. Is this like the most stylish outfit you've ever seen? No. Like a kindergartner could piece this together. Like it's gray and pink. So it's not like I put a lot of like thought and process into my fashion. But oftentimes I've noticed that I'm like, especially being in Scottsdale, Arizona, like fashion is high here. Like people dress to the nines, whether we're going to the grocery store, we're getting our nails done, or we're going to church. Like people are dressed up. And back in Iowa, I'm not gonna lie, I wear this and it looks like I'm dressed up. This here is like a bum cleaning the house outfit. I'm not kidding. And so that was something I think that I've had to kind of process, I guess, and adjust to, and a little bit train my mind on, because I'm hard on myself, because I'm like, you know what, there's a difference between like having a cute outfit and like styling it and having a sense of fashion. And that's where I struggle. But I have to remind myself, like, Chloe, this isn't something you've like taken time and like educated yourself on, because fashion is like, there's full on like a fashion school. Like you got to study fashion, you got to know fashion. It takes time. It's a skill. Like, and honestly, it's a gift from God to some people. So some of us aren't as gifted with like having a natural sense of style, maybe. And we have to spend some time scrolling Pinterest, like building a board, finding our own style, because everyone has their own unique style. It comes natural to some people. Like Emmy Moore, if you guys know her, she's like a Christian influencer, but she started in fashion. Like she just naturally, God gifted her with like a great sense of style, a great vision. God did not gift me with that, but he gifted me with other things. And I have to learn to appreciate that and appreciate her gift from God as well. And not become jealous, because I was doing a little research on this, and jealousy is actually, it's very interesting to me. Jealousy essentially is desire. When you are jealous of someone, it's because you're desiring to have what they have, or to be what they are, or to be at the status they're at. Like, it's not really much else. Jealousy is a negative emotion, and it's actually a combination of emotions. So jealousy isn't an emotion, it's a combination. And it's a combination of anxiety and anger. And I want to kind of break that down more. So again, taking notes. I came prepared for this and I kind of like it. Anxiety essentially is a fear around losing something or it being taken from us, or a feeling that we're kind of a sense of fear that we won't be able to ever attain that. And often we feel this through like a gut kind of drop or an increase in heart rate. So bringing this to an example for us to kind of understand would be, a lot of times too, I think we feel jealousy in relationships. And I was doing some research, listening to other podcasts on this, and this one girl was really tapping into the side of like relational jealousy, and maybe like an ex-girlfriend, or your ex is with a new girl and you feel a sense of jealousy towards that other girl or that other guy, depending on the situation. And again, it's like, this is stemming from a fear of losing. So even say you're dating someone, oftentimes, and God bless, this is like something I don't experience, because this would be a terrible thing and it would really jeopardize, and I think it would stir up a lot of emotions and issues in a relationship, but I think it's so common. So if you experience this, I'm sorry, and it's definitely something to talk about, because this is only going to boil up and you're going to begin to just, I don't know. I just think it could go really south really fast if you don't talk about it. And I know it's kind of scary bringing it up, because you don't want to look insecure. You don't want to be that jealous girlfriend. You don't want to have these emotions, but there's no way to fix it other than talking about it. And a lot of times I think we feel these feelings in relationships because we lack a sense of security and confidence in our partner. So you need to have these conversations. But the anxiety and fear around losing something or being taken away could be like your partner. You're nervous that they're going to miss their ex and want to go back, or they're going to see another girl and you're jealous of them and they're going to leave you. And it's like, you have to create that sense of security and trust with your partner, and you need to have those conversations. And if you're feeling jealous, it's because you're lacking that, honestly, or you're lacking that in yourself, and you're lacking confidence in yourself. So you got to find a way to build that. And we'll touch on that in a little bit. Or we fear that we aren't going to be able to attain it. So maybe I am a little jealous of a girl's sense of style or fashion, and I'm jealous because I fear that I won't ever be able to attain that. It's like, God didn't gift me with a sense of fashion, a sense of style. Like, I have a jealous instinct to that because I fear I'm never going to be able to attain it. Because I don't fear I'm going to lose my sense of style or like, it really can only go up from here. And I don't fear that I will ever be taken away, but I do fear that I can't attain it. And again, like I said, like, that is something we can work at, and we can actively increase our skills towards, or improve upon. And I think we forget that. And a lot of times, like I said, jealousy is from desire, but anything we desire, we can have. We just have to work for it. And a lot of times it's kind of the easy way out to just be jealous, and we actually tear down those people to make ourselves feel better. And that's the last thing you should do, because that isn't going to help you at all. Tearing down somebody else for what they have that you're jealous of, or tearing down yourself for not having that, is not taking a step forward towards attaining that, whatever you desire it to be. So you need to slow down, analyze the situation, analyze the feelings you're having. So kind of go through your mind and be like, am I scared? Am I feeling jealous because I'm scared I'm going to lose it? Am I feeling jealous because I'm scared I'll never be able to attain it? Or am I scared that it'll be taken away from me? And then analyze that, and depending on whatever one it falls upon, because I can almost guarantee it'll be one of those three, create action steps, create a plan, maybe have a conversation with somebody if you need to help resolve those feelings and to work towards attaining whatever you desire. Because I don't think it's bad to want something and to work towards something and to desire something. I think desire is a great way to create goals. That's life. The way I view life is constantly improving, constantly working towards something. If there's a desire I have, I'm going to create steps. Like I said in last week's episode, structure, program, how am I going to achieve that? I don't want to spend my life in a fear of anxiety and jealousy. I don't want to be in that state. I want to be in a state of excitement and motivation and inspiration and working towards something and improving every day, because that's where confidence comes from. Confidence really comes from, Edmila always says this, is keeping promises to yourself. Build the confidence in the fact that you know and can trust yourself that if there's something you want, you can hold yourself accountable and stick to it and achieve it. Because like I always say, consistency compounds. Anything's attainable. You just got to have a plan, and you got to stay consistent to it. It's really that simple. Success is much closer than we think. Success and failure are not far apart. It's honestly due to consistency and a vision and steps, action steps. It's really that simple. Everything in life is that simple. We just make it so difficult. So get rid of the jealousy, really break it down, analyze it, understand where is this stemming from, why do I feel like this, and create a plan to attack it, and poof, it's gone. Another great thing is to pray about it. Pray for God to give you strength over your jealousy. Pray for Him to unravel and uncover where it's coming from, because sometimes you might be in a situation and be like, Chloe, I don't know why I feel like this. I really don't. And you sit with yourself, but you can't figure it out. Pray about it. Ask God. He will deliver that, and He will uncover that for you. And find your confidence within God and within your relationship, because He's really the only one you should care about, their opinion of you. God is the highest. He is truly the only one that I want to please, if that makes sense. And so it's I shouldn't care about how other people view my fashion, or if that's not shedding light on His glory, it's really not that deep. But if it's a way that you can use it as a vessel to glorify Him, boom, that's amazing. I mean, More does that all the time. Or for me, I always say it's fitness and it's health and wellness. And maybe for you, it's your art and your crafts or your comedy or funny. Whatever your gift is, use it to glorify God. But whatever other people's gifts are, don't use that to tear yourself apart and compare yourself. It can be so hard. And I think we just need to normalize having the feeling of jealousy, though, because I think it's oftentimes something we are scared to talk about. It's embarrassing because we don't want to look like an insecure person. We don't want to look like a jealous person. But let's be real, we've all experienced it, some more than others maybe. And like I said, it stems with your relationship with God, your relationship with the people in your life, the relationship with yourself. And everyone's going to be at different points in their life, and everybody's different along their journey, but it's attainable for everyone to be in a good place with yourself and others and with God, and building that confidence within yourself. But like I said, you just have to understand that jealousy isn't going to get you any closer, and bringing yourself down isn't going to get you any closer. So it's really important to understand what will get you closer and to act upon that rather than anything else. So sorry, my stomach's growling. It's that time every single day at 10 a.m., no matter if I eat breakfast at 9:30 or 5 a.m., my stomach's growling at 10. So if you heard that through the mic, sorry, I'm a hungry girl. But I kind of want to go back a little bit more to that was weird, to the message that I received, kind of speaking more on just constantly comparing yourself and what that looks like and how to kind of combat that. And I feel like a lot of us girls and guys, honestly, guys and girls both equally, compare our like bodies and our physiques. I know, especially in the fitness industry, it's really hard to not look at someone and be like, dang, like she has a really chiseled abs and obliques and her glutes are huge and her legs are amazing. And I think every single one of us, God created all of our bodies differently, okay? Everyone's gonna have a different specialty, I like to say. Like a lot of people in the fitness industry are bodybuilders or something, or they're kind of known for one body part in particular. It's like God really poured into somebody's glutes and they have naturally amazing glutes. And then I can promise you that person with really amazing glutes is probably not as confident as you think. They might have an amazing physique, but I promise you there's something that they're probably insecure about and want to be better at, because again, someone's always going to have something better. It's just reality, and it's sad, and I wish it wasn't that way. But you may look at someone and be like, dang, like they are so fast, they can run for miles, they are so gifted with like endurance running, but they're probably insecure that they don't have enough muscle on their body, their butt's not big enough, or vice versa, where someone has amazing glutes and shoulder caps and everything, but it's like they're insecure that they can't go run 20 miles, you know? Like, so one, understanding that this person may have an amazing, beautiful physique, they're struggling as well, and everyone's struggling, so give them grace, give yourself grace. And that goes for everything in life, you know? Like, everyone struggles more than we think. Everyone's struggling with something, and that's so hard, and I have to remind myself of that. Just honestly giving other people more grace, because I know how, when I'm going through something hard, how it impacts me, and how I'm like, I just need grace and time and patience and love. Give that all the time, because that's the only cure to it, in my opinion. So with that being said, though, we have to understand, like, again, it's attainable. And if we desire something, like, you can have that. You can have that physique. You can have that, whatever it is. You can have that time PR or that lifting max. Like, it's all attainable and it's all possible. But you have to understand, like, those people didn't get that overnight. They didn't get that by luck. Like, 99% of people work so hard, and it's a lot of it's behind the scenes that we don't see. Like everything, like there's so much more into everything in life that we don't see and understand. But those people with the great physiques that you may be comparing yourself to, like, they are probably tracking, they're probably very disciplined with the way they eat. Like 80% of our physiques are our nutrition. They're eating the protein when they maybe don't want to, or making the healthier choice in a situation they don't want to. They're staying disciplined, they're staying consistent. They've probably had to work on their relationship with food. Like, they've had a journey to get to that point, and they're consistent in the gym. They're educated. They know the lifts they need to be doing. They know how to structure a workout, you know, or they're paying a lot of money for a coach and they're having someone guide them, and they're doing the things, they're making certain sacrifices, is what I want to say, to get to where they are. It's not just gifted. So don't disregard all of the hard work that they've done. Again, it's something we need to appreciate and like congratulate them, and really like look at them as inspiration and be like, dang, that's really impressive. Like, that's a lot of hard work. That's a lot of consistency. That's a lot of days in the gym. That's a lot of meals and protein goals hit. Like, that's a lot of accomplishment to get to that point. And for ourselves, instead of being jealous and being like, I wish I had that body, she's so lucky, like she looks amazing, be like, okay, like reflect and be like, what am I doing that she might not be? And I always say, look at your role models, look exactly what they're doing, and begin to do what they're doing to get to where they want to be. Like, it's all simple in our day-to-day. Small decisions we make add up. They are, it's so, wow, I just lost the word and the train of thought. It compounds. It's so compounding that day to day, the small decisions, they add up, they stack up, and they make a difference. So if you're feeling jealous with someone, it's like, okay, she's making different choices than you probably are. So what are those choices? And this might sound harsh. This might sound like, I don't know. I just want to be that, like, I want to be the truth. I'm being honest. Like, I have to remind myself of this too, because I'm totally guilty of viewing other people and being like, dang, I wish I looked like that. But then I dig a little deeper and I'm like, okay, every single day they have their meals prepped. They're eating their like calculated meals. Not saying that's like the only way to accomplish. I eat intuitively, but it's like, that's dedication and that's hard work. They're in the gym every day. They're consistent. They're doing the hard things. We might just overlook them because we're like, oh, they can do that. But it's like, that's why they have achieved what they've achieved. Like, truly, they're out there every day running. They're out there getting in the gym. Like, they're pushing themselves. They, like I said, have a coach. They're investing in themselves. It takes a lot of time and effort. So for physique wise, that's a huge thing, in the gym especially. And another thing too, like, I want to look back actually and see what the other specific things, on social media, we got to remember too, not everything we see on social media is real. A lot of it's curated. There's editing softwares now. We can change, people can edit. People, unfortunately, Photoshop. I've never done that. I never will, because that is so bad, and I know the impact that it can make on people. And like, I would never want to meet someone in person and be like, whoa, you edit your photos, like you look different in person than you do online. But again, to understand lighting, angles, the camera quality, there's so much into a photo that can curate it and make them look a certain way. Filters, darkening, lighting, shadows, backdrop, contrast, exposure, like all of those things change the look of a photo or a video. And so what you're seeing, a little clip, is not the reality of the whole experience in the whole photo. I mean, I feel like you probably have heard that before, but it's so true coming from a content creator myself. Like, again, like we take 900 photos, literally, and we choose 9 to post, and they're our best photos. There are some very terrible, ugly photos, bad angles. I'm like, wow, I look 50 pounds heavier, or wow, I look just terrible, bad angle. Like, I don't know, it doesn't look like me, and it's just formed, and it's like, I would never obviously post that. So understand that everyone has those photos in their camera roll. They're only posting their good ones. And so don't allow social media to compare. Again, too, we only show the bits we want you to see. There's so much that we can hide. Like, it's literally a choice. It's so crazy to me, and this has become so real in my understanding that, like, being a content creator myself, most of my friends are also content creators themselves. Getting to know them in their day-to-day lives and having that, like, insight and that insider viewpoint on what they actually do their whole day, all of, like, their actual life, that they don't share, that I know. It's like, it's almost like we're living 2 lives, and it's not intentional to, like, make it that way, because I want to be as raw and honest and true to myself as I can be on social media. I don't want to make it like I have 2 lives. But again, we aren't going to show everything. We're human beings. We have privacy. We have certain things we don't want to share. And like, there's so much in my life that I don't talk about that you guys don't know. I mean, probably less than others, because I feel like I tell you guys everything on my podcast, but still there are situations and there are things that I don't talk about, struggles that I have, or just little, I don't know, probably day-to-day moments that I don't capture. Or I'll post my meal sometimes and people are like, you don't eat this, or you eat this, or whatever. I'm like, that's one photo. Like, I don't photograph every single thing I eat. I'm eating other things other than what I post. Like, when people do what I eat in a day, it's probably just their main meals. I might have a snack or two in between, or maybe they don't actually sit down and eat the whole meal. Like, there's so many little things you don't see, that you need to understand is going on. And there's a lot in people's personal lives that we don't show. Like, heck, it would be so easy for me to, like, literally, I mean, I didn't show my boyfriend. For like how many months? Probably the first 4 months. I didn't show anything about him. You guys didn't even know he existed, but he was like the biggest part of my life at the point. And that's crazy. But like, all I have to do is not put him in a video, not put him in a clip, not speak his name. And you guys had no idea. So understand, like, that much of someone's life cannot be shared. And like, to not judge just because we really don't truly know what's really going on in someone's life and what's really happening. So don't compare your life to someone else's, because you don't know the full story, the full picture. Even the people you know in person, even the people that are just over a social media screen, like, you don't know everything about a person. Even your best friend that you think you know from like the back of their hand, like, there's still more to it. So give yourself grace, give them grace. It can be really hard. Comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison comes from the enemy. It's not from God. God does not want us to be comparing ourselves. God made us beautifully and wonderfully made. So we are perfect in God's eyes, and that's all that should matter. And so really live a life to glorify Him and do things for Him and through Him. And you will find so much joy and confidence in that. I truly have, and it's helped me so much. Like, I think a lot of times too, we put our worth in the wrong things, and that stems a lot of insecurity in ourselves. And that's one thing I've had to learn. I used to put my worth in men and boys and getting their attention. And it's like, I have flipped a switch and I no longer do that. And I have gained so much confidence back, and being around people who make me feel secure and loved. And I mean, really, truly, like, God is the only person that I really like idolize and want his opinion. And so it's like when I know that I'm being obedient to God, I have so much confidence in myself. I truly do. And again, too, everything that happens, like, it can be made good. So any struggle that you're having, anything you're struggling with, like, there's a way to turn it around and glorify it and make it a good thing, and you can share and you can help people through that. But again, like, we can really idolize the wrong things, and I just think it's important to sit back and reflect on what you're idolizing. Like, I want you to do that right now. Take a second and just process and be like, what do I idolize? Whose opinions do I idolize? Do I idolize my own body? Do I idolize my social status? Do I idolize my boyfriend's opinion of me? Do I idolize the amount of followers that I have? Like, what is it? Because you should never put something over God. You really shouldn't. And when we allow that to happen, the enemy sneaks in and just shreds us up inside, and it can really torment our own minds. And that is like one of the hardest things to do, is like struggling in your own mind. So one good thing, pray about it. Another thing, talk about it. I think sharing your struggles with someone else is so healthy. I had a really, really, really good conversation with a friend the other day, and she was like, be that person for someone. Don't judge. The only one who can judge and should judge is God. So be that helping hand, be that advice, be that ear. Sometimes people just need someone to listen to, okay? So be that ear for somebody, because I promise you, what you give, you will receive. And when you need someone to just listen to you, they'll be there. You'll have someone there too. And if you feel like you don't, talk to God about it. Literally sit here and just talk to yourself. Speak it out loud. It's very therapeutic, and I think it's a great way to process and heal through certain things. I think a lot of times when we're jealous, we don't admit it to ourselves, because it's like, no, I'm not jealous. Like, I would never be jealous of someone for the way they dress. Like, no. But then I was like, you know what? I am jealous. She has a cute outfit and I want a cute outfit. What can I do about it? And I talked to God about it, and I was like, you know what? That's not your expertise. It's really not that deep. Like, you have so many other things to focus on and pour into. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't have time to scroll Pinterest all the time and shop. And I don't want to put my money towards all these clothes when I feel confident in my little Skims bodysuit. I'm going to be honest. Like, I feel fine in this. But again, if someone next to me was super stylish and decked out in cool accessories and layers and all this stuff, instinctually, I would want to compare. But it's like, you know what? God gifted her with that. God gifted me with this. Like, I have strengths and abilities that I can use to glorify and speak upon and make a difference with. So just really lean into your strengths. And if there's a weakness you have and you have the ability, you do have the ability. So if you want to make time and you want to commit to it, then do that. But honestly, to me, for like the whole fashion thing, I've kind of accepted, like, that's just not really a priority right now for me. And slowly but surely I can work towards it, but I'm not going to like put other things on hold. I'm a busy girl. Like, I have a limited brain capacity, okay? Like, I get tapped out and I don't have time to study fashion trends and create a vision board on Pinterest and go shopping for those exact pieces. Like, that's not what I want to do with my time. And so I'm not going to be sitting here feeling jealous and comparing myself when I don't put the time into it and I really don't want to. So I'm accepting where I'm at. And is that a bad thing to accept where you're at? No, maybe. I feel like that sounds wrong, but I think it's fine. Like, it's helped me heal that, you know? So I feel like that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to say. That went a lot of different directions, but I really hope it helped, and I really hope something spoke to you. And I just want to remind yourself, like I said in the beginning, when you feel jealous, when you feel a little envious, when you're feeling insecure, it's one of those things that you're probably fearing it's gonna fleet you, you can't attain it, or what was the other one? Wow, now I'm blanking. See, this is why I like to do little summaries and kind of break down things. You're not gonna be able to attain it, you fear of losing it or it being taken. So reflect on one of those. Remind yourself, jealousy is desire, but anything we desire we can attain. Ask God for it. Ask God for the strengths and the abilities to do it. Ask God to uncover whatever you need, okay? Work on your confidence. Really tap into your strengths and learn to appreciate other people's. Don't be jealous of them. Appreciate their strengths. Use them as a role model. Use them as a lesson. Like, if you want to get somewhere, see what they're doing and how they do it and implement that into your life. It's really that simple. But consistency compounds. You got to stay consistent if you want to achieve a goal. But yeah. Anyway, I just love you guys so much, and I appreciate you so much, and I hope this helped. I really truly hope it does, because jealousy is such a joy killer and a energy sucker, and it's from the enemy, it's not from God, and there's ways around it, and I promise it's not something you have to live in forever. It's something you're probably gonna have to work at forever, but you can free yourself from that feeling. So I hope this helped. I love you. Have a good day whenever you're listening to this. We'll chat next week. Bye, guys.